Hey everybody, this is Jamie Busick, CEO, CTO, founder of Virtual Sprout. We're going to be talking today about IRS Safeguards Rule. We've been talking about the FTC Safeguards Rule. This is a very similar rule, and specifically we're going to talk about cybersecurity risk assessments as it relates to the rule. If you remember back from the FTC's talks that we did, the CSRA, as we call it, is the foundational element to all cybersecurity. It allows us to identify gaps in your security infrastructure, allows us to identify insider risks, it allows us to identify what policies need to be updated or created. It's the roadmap for us to fix all things cybersecurity. It is also a requirement for the IRS Safeguards Rule. Specifically, I'm going to read this here because the acronym is long. It's the Safeguard Security Evaluation Report. Just use that acronym and replace it with CSRA and you have the same thing. For those of you that are protecting both federal taxpayer information, which is what the IRS safeguard rules are about, protecting that information, social security numbers, tax filings, anything about that taxpayer. Generally, these are accountants, tax prep firms, anybody that would be touching any of that type of stuff. They're also obligated to do FTC safeguards. And so when you do a cybersecurity risk assessment, you're simultaneously fulfilling both requirements on both regulations. The CSRA or the SSER does need to be filed with the IRS. So getting this done on an annual basis, generally there's some downtime right after the late filing deadlines in October. That's when we see most of our activity with our accounting customers, tax prep customers, before it gets busy again coming into the new year where all the customers are back again getting their taxes done and their end of the year audits done and everything else. So cybersecurity risk assessments, they're good for a variety of security frameworks. All the security frameworks that I'm aware of want a risk assessment done annually. FTC Safeguards Rule wants a CSRA done annually. And now we're talking about the IRS Safeguards Rule wants a CSRA done annually. So hopefully this clears some stuff up. We're going to keep going through the controls, talking about how to implement them, what they are, how it all ties together into the overarching safeguards rule. If you have questions, if you want to have a conversation, if you want to get more in depth, if you want to see if you're maybe already compliant, if you want to see how far you are away from compliance, reach out. cyber-strategy.virtualsprout.com, cyber-strategy.virtualsprout.com. Get booked in with one of our security specialists. They can walk through and see how close you are to being compliant or what needs to be done. 15 minutes, maybe followed up with another meeting to kind of deep dive into some of this compliance issues. But cyber-strategy.virtualsprout.com. Feel free to reach out about this or anything else that you might be concerned about. As always, have a great day. See you next week when we go through the next control.